Hello everyone. So in today's lesson, I'm going to be talking about the common challenges in true false not given questions, right? So this is one of the other uh, common challenges, right? In these type of question, right? In this type of question. So you should be able to understand the what's the definition for false, and what does it mean not given, right? So you should be able to understand the correct, the definition, right? So as you already know, when the passage directly contradicts the statement, you will decide false. When the passage is silent about the statement, then you're going to decide not given, right? So I'm going to be talking about that, the confusion when it comes to deciding whether the statements are false or not given. So what is the confusion? Why students are confusing false with not given, right? So the passage directly contradicts the statement. So already I said the passage says nothing about the statement, so they're not given, right? So I already know this. So when the passage directly, or if the passage directly contradicts the statement, you're going to decide false. If the passage says nothing about the statement, means there is no information about the statement, then you're going to decide not given, right? So what is the confusion, right? So let's talk about the confusion. Many test takers mix them up because they both feel like the statement is incorrect. Means, so when when they decide whether the statements are false or not given, so many test takers or many students, right? So they think, or they feel about these type of statements, the both type of statements are similar, like, means the statement isn't correct, right? So for example, when they decide, okay, this is false, and when they confront a different statement, which is a not given statement, but they think, okay, this statement isn't correct, so I can decide false. But you should be able to understand the difference. But the difference lies in whether the passage actively disagrees or simply silent. So there are two things you should consider, right? So if the passage directly, remember, directly, actively disagrees uh, the statement. When the passage actively disagrees the statement, you will decide false, right? So you will write for F. But when the passage says nothing about the statement, means simply silent. The passage is silent. So no information about that particular segment, or no information about the exact information, right? In the statements. So when the passage doesn't have enough information, or enough information to decide, so then you're going to write NG, which is not given. So you should be able to identify the difference, whether the passage actively disagree or it's simply silent, right? Now look at the example passage. The Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the world's oxygen. Scientists believe it contains many undiscovered medicines, right? Now, what are the statements? The first statement says the Amazon rainforest produces 20% of the world's oxygen. So you can see uh, they're using, you can find the similar word, Amazon rainforest produces, or similar words, and the exact number, exact percentage. So 20% of production. So the Amazon rainforest produces about 20% of the world's oxygen, right? So means nearly 20%. So it's true. So you can match the numbers, you can match the exact numbers and the meaning as well, right? So you can design true. Second one, the Amazon rainforest produces 50% of the world's oxygen, right? So the second one also talks about the production of oxygen, right? And it talks about the Amazon rainforest, right? The production of it. but the directly the information is, the passage directly contradicts the statement, because the passage says 20%, but the statement mentioned 50%, right? So same thing, similar information, similar idea or similar context, but the exact number, the fine detail, or we would say, the difference is directly, you can see the huge difference between the numbers. So you can decide that's false, because the passage contradicts the statement contradicts the passage, right? Let's look at the third statement. The Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest in Asia. The Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest in Asia. What do you think about this? So there is a comparison, right? So when they talk about Asia, look at this. In Asia, means a particular region. But here, there is no comparison with other, that in a particular region. But science believe it contains many undiscovered medicine, right? But there is no information, this is the largest rainforest. So the statement, mentioned, the scale, the this is the largest rainforest in Asia. So the passage doesn't compare the Amazon rainforest with other in a particular region or in the world, but it talks only about the production of oxygen, the world's oxygen, right? The production of world's oxygen. So the Amazon rainforest is the largest rainforest. So the passage doesn't mention Asia at all. So there is no comparison. In a there is no comparison regarding different rainforest in Asia. So here the statement compares uh, the Amazon rainforest with other rainforest in Asia, but passage, it doesn't compare. So there is no information. So you can decide what is the key difference between false and not given. So you should be able to understand the key difference between false and not given, right? So there is no confusion regarding false and not given. So you are not going to confuse false with not given. So identify the difference. What's the key difference? When the passage says the opposite, right? So you can decide false. So for example, passage mentioned 20% of production, but the statement mentioned 50% of production. So the passage directly says the opposite, or maybe something different numbers, right? How about not given? When the passage doesn't mention at all, means when the passage doesn't mention the information at all, then you will decide not given, right? So you're going to write NG, right?